Chris Martin just taught 80,000 fans, warning them not to accidentally expose any affairs on the kiss cam. Yet his own breakup with Dakota Johnson had already detonated in total silence. How did the king of stadium harmony lose the one duet he guarded for 8 years? People detonated the news on June 4th. It feels final this time. Within minutes, the story trended across 6 continents. Not because of a quote, but because of the one thing the piece didn't have: an official statement from either star. The silence amplified every syllable of that insider line, sending fans racing back through 8 years of relationship breadcrumbs to pinpoint the crack they'd missed. The very next morning, paparazzi caught Dakota striding out of Manhattan's Greenwich Hotel, clutching an iced coffee like a shield. Gone was the 8 to 10 carat emerald that had launched 1,000 engagement headlines. In its place was a bare hand and a thin gold stacking ring on the right. Fashion blogs the episode and stole the other half by chewing a studio sandal. Johnson joked that Tokyo already thinks she's method, turning a heartbreak narrative into the internet's new comfort reel. 3 weeks post-split, a People follow-up assured fans she was doing well, and, according to friends, living intentionally. Translation: Pilates at sunrise, script notes by noon, puppy walks at dusk, meaningful life on every level. Evidence of that new chapter surfaced fast. Over 4th of July weekend, she boarded producer Mohammed Al-Turki out in Ibiza, trading Malibu hoodies for a cherry red bikini and clinking mocktails alongside Tom Brady and Kate Hudson. Tabloids fixated on a sun-splashed deck photo where Brady handed her a GoPro. Harmless, but enough to mint the phrase Brady Oda in gossip columns for 48 hours. Backstateside, paparazzi lenses the girls' night in New York with Jennifer Lawrence, the duo ducking into a Soho wine bar before scooting out a side door with to-go tiramisu. A grainy sidewalk shot showing Dakota laughing with a tall, unidentified companion sparked Mystery Man Whispers comment, letting the rumor professionally the reset is equally brisk. Materialist wrapped its festival run with solid buzz, and romantic comedy Splitsville, a title some critics are already calling meta-gold, drops August 22nd. Studio insiders hint at Blitz. Every puppy video, yacht cameo, and late-night stroll paints the same picture. She's moving, not moping. Whether that motion leads to a rebound romance or just a bigger life remains the cliffhanger. But either way, her next step keeps viewers clicking play. And meanwhile, halfway around the world, Martin is about to turn heartbreak into a stadium-sized chorus. When Coldplay rolled into Las Vegas on Chris Martin closed the show with a curveball. A warm, "Thank you, be kind to each other, and go see Materialist next week." Fans roared, instantly reading the social media, and within 48 hours the man on screen was outed as tech CEO Andy Byron. His board launched an investigation. Byron, the same day Coldplay hit Camp Randall Stadium in Wisconsin. There, Martin opened with a wry public service announcement. "Our cameras find you tonight, make sure you're kissing the right person." The crowd laughed. The subtext was unmistakable. He'd learned how a single shot can upend lives, including his own. Relentless. Nashville, Miami. The report claims Paltrow quietly offered Chris Martin the guest wing of her Brentwood home for the summer, so he could decompress with Apple and Moses between tour legs. An invite that supposedly ruffled husband Brad Falchuk, but underscored Gwyneth's trademark conscious uncoupling ethos. Insiders say the ex-spouse's group chat, once reserved for co-parenting logistics, has morphed into an emotional triage line. Gwyneth sends Chris daily mindfulness prompts: breathe, hydrate, sunlight, and slips Dakota crystal-infused bath salts from the latest Goop drop. Far from meddling, friends describe her as glue, keeping Sunday dinners on the calendar, even as guest lists shuffle. Whether her open-door policy speeds healing or sparks new tension is anyone's guess. For now, it's as the unlikely bridge between a heartbroken rock star and an actress eager to reboot. Proof that some love stories end or no kids, then died on a frozen Zoom screen when one of them boarded yet another flight. Therapy sessions became patch-ins from prop rooms and hotel corridors. A source close to the band described calls where Dakota sat cross-legged on a Toronto studio floor while Chris dialed in from Stockholm at 3 a.m., both speaking through a quarter-second audio lag. They were budgeting affection like other couples budget rent, the source said, loving but permanently out of sync. Matters worsened when Coldplay quietly extended the tour again in October 2024, adding Miami, Denver, and an eco-fundraiser run of UK shows. All announced the day before Dakota's agents confirmed her lead role in the Thailand-set thriller Rimfire. One insider told People, the back and forth felt like playing Tetris with time zones. By May 2025, another postponed Pick a Wedding Month talk collapsed. Chris left for Denver rehearsals, Dakota flew to New York, and, as friends now concede, the engagement effectively ended that night. The split went public June 4th. People broke the story, poured a shout-out to her film from the Las Vegas stage that once governed their romance finally struck different hours for good. Chris appears intent on translating heartache into history. In a Rolling Stone sit-down, he reminded fans that after Moon Music, Coldplay planned 2 more projects, and then a final album simply titled Coldplay. The cover photo, he says, has been chosen. Ferryman hedged that retirement talk, but the roadmap is a curtain call for stadium marathons. Setlist leaks add fuel. The line, "Green eyes fading out of you" keeps cropping up in sound checks. Critics read the emerald tone lyric as a thinly veiled goodbye to Dakota, but Martin neither confirms nor denies, smiling whenever journalists tiptoe near the subject. Dakota's post-split agenda looks just as forward-tilting. She's steering materialists through a healthy $50 million global box office run and starring opposite Adria Arjona in Splitsville. Doesn't be an account yes proof she'll speak the unscripted truth even in breakfast TV politeness. Industry chatter links her to 2 new deals. Producing a limited series adaptation of Cult Following with friend Riley Keough and a psychological thriller headed for Iceland. Studio sources say neither commitment allows time for a long-distance relationship, an echo of the very friction that ended her Coldplay chapter. Gwyneth Paltrow, ever the ambassador of conscious uncoupling, remains the unexpected bridge. She's reportedly keeping the Malibu Sunday dinner slot open for whoever feels like family, vowing that divorce, breakup, or final tour dates won't splinter the support system. So is Moon Music really the last Coldplay album? Will Dakota's rom-com renaissance turn into her definitive era? Both artists are answering in the only language they trust. New songs, new films, no pronouncements. Maybe the takeaway isn't whether their stories reconverge, but how 2 people can pivot from shared silence to separate spotlights without turning the volume down on ambition. When the encore ends and the credits roll, the melody lingers, unfinished, open-ended, and still very much worth leaning into here. Chris and Dakota spent 8 years perfecting the art of private love, only to prove that silence can be louder than any chorus. Now a puppy, a possible last album, and an ex-wife's surprising loyalty are writing their coda. The next time Martin asks a crowd to sing in unison, listen, you might hear the echo of a story that never made it to the bridge, and wonder whether some melodies are meant to end unresolved.